So
Okay.
after you get the QTS, then you start looking for a job. When you get a job, they'll give you an interview. When you pass the interview, they will send you something called a certificate of sponsorship. You need that certificate of sponsorship to apply for a visa.
And I want to please anybody that would hear this, if you know that you don't want to teach, don't bother coming. Don't bother.
Mm.
Please don't bother. Because teaching can send you to prison than before any other job.
I don't wanna see the way you fall apart. Even though you told me to get back your heart, I still spin inside your orbit. Yeah.
All right, so the title of today's meeting is What's Next After Applying for QTS? And as usual, my name is Mercy, and I've got a YouTube channel because sometimes I post my content on TikTok as well. So sometimes people join in from TikTok. So if you joined it from TikTok and you don't know that I have a YouTube channel, kindly check it out on YouTube. My name is Mercy and consider subscribing. So congratulations to everyone who has successfully applied for QTS. If you've met all of the requirements, congratulations. They tried to make it difficult because they didn't want a lot of people to apply. But if you were able to do it, congrats to you. And to all still trying to apply, at the end of the meeting, like I said, I'll give you time to share with us what difficulty you're encountering, okay, during questions time. So what are the next steps after you've applied for QTS? So while you're waiting to receive your QTS, please start working on your CVs. It's very important. The reason why I'm saying start working on your CV is when you get the QTS, you'll be so excited about applying for jobs that you may not even take your time to do a proper CV. So at the moment that you're not too excited, you haven't got any good news, you don't even know whether they'll give it to you or not, start working on your CV because your mind at this point is the best to write a CV, okay? Because you want them to give you QTS, you want them to give you a job. So the right frame of mind that you have now is what you should use to write your CV. And in the UK, when they're writing their CVs, they want you to explain everything, like with your job experience. Don't leave out gaps. Maybe you attended school, you stopped for some time, you weren't working, and then later you got a job, or in between your jobs, you switched to a different job, and for a few months you were in the house doing nothing. When you're writing a CV, they want you to account for all the time, from school to where you are, like where you are currently, and they like it when they see that even if you're not working, you are volunteering, or you're doing something on the side. So when you're doing your CV, one thing to keep in mind is don't leave gaps between your experiences. Don't leave any gaps at all. They will ask you. And when you're writing your CV, always remember, I think I'll talk about it later in the presentation. Always make sure that the references that you are putting on your CV are people that are like computer literate, people that can always check their emails, people that can always write and send an email. If you go and put somebody's name who cannot write and send an email, they may send a letter through the email to the person to reference you. And the letter may be sitting in the person's email. I've seen some before. The letter may be sitting in the person's email for weeks. So when you're putting references, put someone who you work with, who is computer literate, okay, somebody who can vouch for you, but can also write and send an email. If they bring any document into the email, somebody that can reply and fill out a form correctly, okay. Another thing to keep in mind or to write is to have a good cover letter. I'll be showing you examples later in the slides, but a good cover letter. A good cover letter is like when you're applying for a letter to apply for a job. Okay, right? I always say that whilst you don't have the job, that's the best time that you need to write, because when the job comes, you'll be rushing, you'll be too excited, you may miss out the point and you may make the CV some way. So start now, okay? And like I was mentioning, get good references. Prepare the rest of your documents, because when you are going to travel, especially with this skilled worker visa, you need like a yellow card with vaccinations and those things on it. And I, for one, from Ghana, I do not even know where yellow card, like all the vaccinations, because they want vaccinations with immunization and batch number and all those things. So I really suffered getting a yellow card. So now that you are relaxed, yellow card like this, it doesn't expire. So if you have it and you put it down, whenever you reach that point in your application, you don't have to worry or stress yourself. So get your vaccination cards. Get your vaccination card. Another thing they may ask you to do would be like TB, tuberculosis test and all that. They may ask you to do TB test and all that. But with the TB test, just like the police certificate, which I'm sure you're yet to do, it has expiration date. It doesn't last for long. So always wait till when you're near or when they ask you to do it. Don't do those ones and put down. But for something like yellow card does not have expiration date. You have it and it's there. Anytime you want, you can use it. Something like your passport, get it down. If you don't have a passport, get it down. And all those documents, please, it's important. So when you receive your QTS, that's when you now start applying for jobs. At the moment, you can be going through and, looking at the job vacancies, what subject you want to teach, which part of England you want to teach, what salary range are you looking at. At the moment, you can do that. But keep in mind that without QTS, you will not be able to get a job in a state-owned school. Even if you have a degree, you will not be able to get it without your QTS. So at the moment, just wait, get a QTS first before. And like the guy said, I spoke to someone from Getintoteaching. He's saying that the 4-year program was a program that was there already, even before they introduced these new countries being able to get QTS. The 4-year program was already there. So it's not the same one as this QTS one that they are going to give us. So we cannot use that 4 years program. That 4 years program is for people that are already living in UK but are untrained teachers already living in the UK and from some specific countries can use that 4-year rule. But this new program is totally new and we cannot use that one, which means that until you get your QTS, you cannot do anything. Okay. Another thing you need to look for is to start preparing for interviews. Start preparing. Be learning how to answer certain questions. Be practicing. What I did for my interview was I wrote down possible questions, and I think it was like a notebook. Whenever I'm there and I remember something, I'm like, this question they can ask me. Then I'll go and write it in my notebook, and then I'll write a reply or like an answer, and then I keep reading it. So when I got to the interview, although the questions they even asked me were not what I was preparing, but some people had really difficult interviews. Okay. But that's for nursing, so it's quite different. But I'm sure they'll ask you something similar. If you're on my Telegram page, I posted this PDF of, what was it? After the meeting, I think I'll go through the links and repost it. It's very important. It's about children. If you haven't started reading that book, please start reading it, because during the interview, they may ask you to go through when you go to the Telegram page, go to the links. I think it's a PDF file, or just go through the history. You find that PDF thing. It's about children and managing children or something in school. It's very important. Practice it to build your confidence. On the day of the interview, sit facing the window. Do not sit facing with your back to the window so that the light can fall on your face and they'll see all of your facial expressions well. Another thing I noticed about UK interviewers is they like lively people. You have to show them like you are a lively person, somebody they can work with. So when they ask you questions, just smile, just be lively. Don't make it too playful, but just be lively, smile and answer the question well, okay? And don't let them see that you are anxious or you've got tension. And because like you are teachers, they may want to know that you are speaking good English, which is why I think it's so important to write possible questions and practice before that day. So if they ask you a question that you already know about, then you are more confident to answer. So this is an example of a cover letter. This is just a template for you to have a look. I could post it in the Telegram page as well. You can use it to write your cover letter. And this is an example of a personal statement. Okay, this is just you selling yourself to your employer, why they should employ you, what you are bringing on board, and all that. I'll just welcome any questions from now. Let's use the rest of the time for questions. So anyone with any question at all, especially about applying for this QTS, yes, Eric, you can unmute yourself and talk, please.
Please, I would like to know the name of your Telegram page.
I think let me post the link. I'll post the link in the chat.
Okay, thank you.
I have a link to a website that has, I think, over 500 teaching agencies that can recruit from like different countries. So like I said, I'll post it I don't have it here. I'll post it in the Telegram page after the meeting so that you can register on there and just be going through, be looking at, so that when you get your QTS, you know that maybe I want to teach here. So these and these agencies are who I'm going to be sending my CVs to. So what they are going to do is you have to send your CV and let them know that you have QTS. Then what they do is, because they are in links with schools, they'll send your CVs over to different kinds of schools. And then whoever gives you an interview, they'll have it done for you. And if these agencies are involved, it means that everything will be easy for you.
Yeah, hello, Mercy.
Yes, hi.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm Paul. I am awaiting my degree certificates, and I thought it wise to apply for the non-maintained schools. So if you can kindly give us a briefing as to the links to get in applying for the non-maintained schools.
I think I've posted the link on the Telegram page before about the independent schools. Just that with a page, you type exactly what you want to teach, which area, and then you search, and then they give you like a list of schools in that area looking for exactly like what you want to teach, I think. So I think I'll post all those ones again on the Telegram page. Or if you want, when we end this meeting, just go back to the Telegram page, go to media, okay, and search through the links. Okay, you see I think it's called Independent Schools Council.co.uk. Okay, isc.co.uk. That's the name of the website.
Yeah, hello, Mercy.
Yeah, sorry about that. You can ask your question.
Yeah, I was saying that I've signed up for their Department of Teaching, so they always send me job adverts. Okay.
Yeah.
So almost all the schools that have gone through for their requirement, after their requirement, their benefits, you won't see any benefit that says that they will give job sponsorship. So I'm wondering, after getting the QTS, how are we going to get the sponsorship ones?
You know, like, because this is a new program. Doreen,
Yes, please. I'm listening.
You know that because this is a new program they are just introducing this February, no school was ever prepared to sponsor international teachers. Do you understand? So it's like a new process. So my thinking is that when they start awarding QTS to international teachers, schools can apply for the license to sponsor. On the government of UK website, they tell organizations about how to apply for this license to sponsor. So when schools realize that now teachers can come from overseas and come and teach in the UK, they are going to get the license of sponsorship. Okay. And then they are going to start recruiting. If not, like I said, the other agencies, if you send your CV and your QTS status to them, and you tell them that you are an international applicant, therefore you'd like schools that can sponsor you from international countries, they'll only send your CVs to those particular schools.
Madam Mercy, good evening.
Good evening.
Please, how are you?
I'm all right, thank you. And you?
Okay, by grace, I'm also fine.
All right, we thank God.
I've applied I've done my application finished on the 1st of February.
Okay.
But my question is, if we apply, is it automatically that they are going to give us the QTS? Or there's a criteria they will use?
No, if you apply and assessment that they are doing, I personally don't know exactly what they are looking for. But If you meet the criteria that they are saying, they'll give you the QTS.
Okay. And how long will it take? Or you don't know?
The guy said normally it's supposed to take just 1 week, but because of the many applications that they've gotten, things are a bit slow. So I'm saying give them up to maybe 1 month or 1.5 months.
Okay. So after we get the QTS, then we will start with the application, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So after you get the QTS, then you start looking for a job. When you get a job, they'll give you an interview. When you pass the interview, they will send you something called a certificate of sponsorship. You need that certificate of sponsorship to apply for a visa. And that one, the whole visa application takes like 3 months. Okay. So from when you get your QTS, I don't know how long it will take for you to get a job. And I don't know how long it will take for you to pass an interview with the job that you get. But once you get a job and they confirm to you that you've passed your interview, the whole visa application takes at least 3 months.
And my last question is, after you get the QTS, is it limit number that you're supposed to apply to the schools? Like the number of schools you have, or you can apply as much as we can?
You can apply to as many schools as you want. Okay. You can apply to as many schools as you want, and then you can get job offers from as many schools as there are. You would have to choose which school based on what offer they are giving you. Okay. So for instance, you apply to, or you sent your CV to an agency. The agency sent your CV out to a lot of schools. Let's say 10 schools. Out of those 10 schools, maybe 5 have gotten back to you and they are telling you that they want to interview you. Okay. Do the interview for all of them, because you don't know which one you want to pass or which one you won't pass. So do the interview for all of them, but only accept certificate of sponsorship from the school that you want to work with. So you can apply to as many schools. They can all say they've accepted you, but you only settle with the particular school that you want, whose offer. And they'll tell you what they are offering you before the interview. They may even tell you, or maybe we'll give you 3 months free accommodation when you come to the UK. We'll give you money, about £300 to start with. Maybe we'll give you this, we'll give you that. So based on those offers, you get to know which school you want to work with. Do you understand? Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Abdul, you can talk. Unmute yourself. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much, my sister. Thank you for giving us this opportunity to know much about this. Whole thing. In fact, I'm really grateful about this meeting. So first of all, I want to know is that, for instance, I'm in Ghana, and then I wanted to apply for the QTS, but some of my documents are not ready. For instance, that of the professional standard from NCC is not ready, and my passport is also missing. But I have the soft copy there, and if I'm to go and print another one, the passport number is going to change. So in this case, what should I do?
So first of all, sort out the passport one, because that's the most important one now. Because if you start the application now and you go and do it and your passport number change, it's going to cause a whole lot of issues. So first of all, start with the passport. Get a ready passport, one that you can travel with. If you have to make another one, go and make another one. And then after that, maybe during the time you're doing the passport, you can wait for the other certificates to be ready. Like I said, the QTS have come to stay. Just that I feel like as time is going on, they may keep tweaking things. They may be like, oh, maybe if we do this, it will be better. If we remove this one, it will be better. But we don't know exactly what they will be taking away or what they'll be adding. So just to avoid them introducing something that may not favor you is why there's a need to apply early.
And lastly, I would like to find out whether teaching in UK, they also recognize a certificate like MPhil certificate, which is not in education. Actually, I want to specify maybe MPhil in mathematics, MPhil pure mathematics. Though I have the Bachelor of Education Mathematics, which is the B.Ed. Yeah, I'm working towards the MPhil mathematics. I'm actually done, but I don't have the certificate at hand. So I like to find out if I get the certificate before I get to UK, and I'm supposed to use it, attach it to my Bachelor of Education just to upgrade myself, whether they will also consider that, because that one is purely mathematics, but not in education?
Yeah, I would say that first of all, focus on getting the QTS first and landing in UK. When you land in UK, you know which opportunities are available for what certificate and what's not. Do you understand? At the moment, don't worry yourself because you don't really know the system like that. But once you land in UK, you know which certificate can do what. So if you have higher education than just the degree, start with coming to the UK with the degree, and then you can do something later with your higher qualifications. Do you understand? So
Yes,
just focus
please.
on getting here first before anything.
Okay. All right.
That's what I would
Thank you
advise.
very much.
Can I just add that when you're coming to the UK for teaching, and I think I've mentioned it to quite a few people that have contacted me, that teaching is very different from care job. You can do something within the care industry, and depending on which company you're working with, I mean, like I said, nothing should be covered because that's a crime. But like Messi was saying the other time, that when things happen and it's something that they could say, okay, maybe it wasn't your fault or something like that, they could stand for you, they will. But when it comes to teaching, you're not just dealing with the school, you're dealing with parents. Some parents that are looking for, can I just permit me to use this word? I know this is going to go on the internet, but some parents that are looking for benefit, extra money, something to just zap from the government, they will pull you down. They will do anything. It could be maybe you're discussing with a child and you probably said maybe you said something to your child about, does your mommy call you a boy? And then maybe the child is a girl and he wants to be a boy.
Yes,
and
that's
that
true.
could land you in, that's something that's going on right now. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that when it comes to teaching, and I want to please anybody that would hear this, if you know that you don't want to teach, don't bother coming. Don't bother. Please don't bother. Because teaching can send you to prison than before any other job. Because you're dealing with vulnerable, you're dealing with children.
Yeah.
Before you know, social services are already there. Everybody's there, And when you come in with regards to your certificates and stuff like that, every school has, because you might be working with an academy, a grammar school, a government state-maintained school, a private school. Everybody has their own way, their own system. And then every borough has their own curriculum. That's another thing you need to know. Like if they're doing GCSE now in London, the examining body they're using is different from when you go to outside London. Yeah. It depends. So those are things that you need to, I would say that when you're coming into the UK, especially with teaching, you need to get into the system, know what's going on before you start thinking of how do I spread my wings to fly. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think that's something that we need to keep, because everybody just wants to get out of their country, so they don't mind even if they have to. And if you lie on your application that you can teach everything, whatever you submit, TRA will check it. If you're not qualified, they will still reject it later. You know. And please, let's be careful when it comes to COS, certificate of sponsorship, or anything. Though I belong to another group. I'm in a couple of groups that I get information from. And there's a young man that somebody must have sold a fake certificate of sponsorship to. And the guy eventually, because when these QTS start coming, you will see people will bring out the fake one. I can tell you. It's at the embassy that you will know when you apply for your visa, because the guy now has been banned for 10 years.
Wow.
10, that's the ban. Once you get caught for things like that, you can't apply. Any other application will be refused for 10 years. So we need to be so careful. I know God will help us, but we need to be very careful.
I've already said that they should prepare their minds and know that you're coming to teach, and do not let anything phase you. Okay, be strong. Be strong-minded as well, because it will be difficult. It's not going to be easy. It will be difficult, but if you are strong-willed and you know the reason why you're coming and you're focused on your teaching, after 5 years, when you get your ILR, everything should be fine. You can do anything you want, or like your passport, or you can even change professions or anything. But until then, just be safe. All right, guys. So thank you to everyone that has made time to join, and I'll let you guys know when next our meeting is. Thank you very much for making time, and to everybody that has shared the link. Thank you for subscribing to my channel and for always supporting me. I'm truly grateful, guys. All right, so I'll see you in the Telegram link page. I'll link the agency, the website to all of the agencies, so that you can go through and see what you are going to be applying to or where exactly. This brings us to the end of the meeting.
Have a good night, everyone. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Take it back your heart. I still spin inside you.